Welcome back to Shifted Reality, Season 2, Episode 10. Now we're out here at Wasei's and Gil's base because Wasei used one of the fishing rods from the fish market without purchasing it, causing me to have to repair it. Now he says it was by accident because he didn't read the sign correctly the first time, and we're just going to accept that because, mistakes happen, and just to show him that there is no ill will, we are going to give him a free fishing rod out here at his base. I'm sure he will appreciate the gesture. There we go, one free fishing rod for Wasei. No hard feelings. Actually, looks pretty good. Maybe I should put that on top of my fish market. Leave a comment down below if you think I should. So aside from pranking Gil and Wasei's base, what are we going to get up to today? Frankly, I'm not feeling very inspired by building the villager buildings at the moment. I mean, whilst I absolutely love how this came out, it's not transforming the area enough. It's not creating enough of a difference to make it feel like we're doing a real impact on transforming this village into something better, something greater. So today we are going to focus on upgrading the lore of our build. And by that, I mean we're going to come over here to this divot that has been here the whole time. And we are going to transform that first. And if we have time, we are then going to transform our shoreline. And what are we going to do with this big divot? Whilst I am willing to terraform, I want to also be constrained and guided by the natural terrain in what we are building. And so we have a big divot here, and it takes us down to about the level that leads out to the sea. So what I'm thinking is we need to put in a shipyard. Because after all, if you go out into the ocean, there are tons of sunken shipwrecks. Where do all those ships come from? Why, they were built right here in Frost Haven Cove and sent out for treasure and met disaster instead. So we are going to recreate one of those shipwrecks right in this space and transform the area around it into a shipyard where they were building it. First things first is we need to kind of square this off, clear it out, and bring it out to the sea so we can see where we're working with. And then we will put in our ship, and from there we will come back and decorate the outside walls and terraform it back in to make it all tie together. Let's get working. Since I always knew I wanted to put a shipyard right here in the middle of the city entrance, if I was a smarter man, I would have made sure the building on the left and the building on the right were at the same Y level. This is actually going to be a little bit of a challenge to decorate this and make it all fit. And hopefully I still have enough room, wide enough, to put in what my vision is telling me I want to put in. Now the sunken ship design that we are going to be using for our shipyard is 9 wide by 28 long. And as you can see in the current position, that doesn't give us much to work with as far as decorating the walls, dealing with the height difference between the two, and otherwise just generally making this fit in here. But what if I adjust the back end of the ship down more towards the sea? That would give us room to backfill here, adjust the elevation and connection between the two buildings, as well as widen it further down so that we can have more room for decorative edges. There, moving the ship further down will make a lot more room. We can backfill this back area and make a connection between the toolsmith and the church, as well as having more room along the sides to widen and make it more decorative. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come up and I'm going to build in the ship first, and that way we have a clear idea of what we're working with, so we know how much room we need to add. So I was also in the shopping area trying to look for some brown dye for making some beds, and well, he doesn't have brown yet in the shopping district. But speaking of shopping district, since our last episode, it has started to be transformed. We're getting some lighting, we're getting some paths taking us around the bases. This is all looking pretty nice. This here actually isn't very good. I have lost one of my armorsmith villagers, so that I can't actually fully replace this right now. So great, now I have a bunch of work I need to do there. And how are we doing in here? Still fine. Need to replace some lapis and a couple enchanting bottles, but all in all, profits continue to pour in. Now I've had 2 people on the Discord tell me I need to be recording the next time I log in and return to my base. One kind of gave me a little bit of a spoiler, but maybe it's the same thing, maybe they're 2 different things. But let's go see what all the hubbub is about. Yeah, this is quite ugly. Try finding me. If this is Wasei's response to the giant fishing rod I put in front of his base, I think I'm coming out ahead on this one. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we'll deal with that later. Let's go put away our shopping district profits. But yeah, somehow a zombie got inside, turned one of my armorsmith villagers into a villager zombie, and these stupid golems that had spawned decided to take him out for me. So we need to get a new armorsmith villager in here. Alright, shop profits are up to 15 blocks of diamond, minus what we have spent in the shopping district. And one last block, and we are all fixed. Hey, Wasei. I'm keeping these. I'm keeping these blocks. You can't have them back. What do you say about that? So coming back to the boat that we are resurrecting from a former shipwreck at the bottom of the sea to represent the ships that get built, we had to make a few little changes, and I think I like how it overall goes. We adjusted the sides a little bit just to make it a little bit less likely for villagers that might eventually occupy a boat that's out at sea from jumping over water and drowning. I used the rounded section of the center of the jungle trapdoor to represent the wheel of the ship. Down here in the captain quarters, it now walks straight in. Originally, you would walk down and take a step in, but this allowed us to get a slightly bigger cabin. I utilized the cartographer table for the captain's desk and a little map of the area that they are mapping out and judging the terrain. I'll probably get some books or something to put in here, most likely from next time I need to go fishing. And then down below deck, by making it so it didn't drop back down, we had more room to put in some bunks for the sailing crew, as well as slightly larger treasure hold for any treasure that they pick up while they are out at sea. And then of course back here at the front end of it, we have a smoker because the galley goes at the front of a ship. And this will be the general thing. We have not yet put on the masts and the sails, but again, I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to cut off because I do want this to appear to be a ship under construction as opposed to one I might build out at sea that's fully operational. And now that we have the boat in here, we can see exactly how much space we might need between the boat and the edge to make it more decorative. I think I need to take this in at least 3 more out. And I started with the backfilling of this, and initially I was just going to fill this all in with cobblestone and such, and then cover it up with gravel and dirt to make it look more even. And I was going to have a little decorative wall that was going to tie in all the way around the decorative sides of the shipyard area. But I decided not to do that. And instead, I am going to come in here and I'm going to build in a water pumping station for where they bring in the water to flood this area and wash the ship back out to sea once construction is completed. Yeah, even if by some chance something landed outside of the lava pit down there, there's really no way for me to get down there and pick it up. All that stuff is gone. Lesson learned. Always look before you dig forward. All I wanted was a single piece of soul sand, and I lost everything because I didn't realize that we were so precariously over a bottomless pit into lava. Yay. Excuse me. No, I don't have anything to... No, leave me alone. Stop it. Fortunately for me, the only thing I really lost was my first bow. But I know where my third bow is, so... We are back up and running with little delay. And why did I need a single piece of soul sand? Well, have you ever just gotten in the zone where you just keep producing the next thing? So like after I watered it, I added in the cobblestone, and then after I had the cobblestone in, I'm like, oh, let's put in a floor. Oh, let's build up the moss from all the times that this was flooded and created a excess amount of moisture that would grow and mildew and algae and all that. Oh wait, let's put in the stairs so there's an easy way in and out. Wait, if they flood this area, how does the water get retained? Let's put in a large retaining gate. Now that we have our large retaining gate in, let's terraform up the sides a little bit to kind of balance out the side. And so, yeah, just one thing led to another, and just one project led to another, and I got way ahead of my own efforts to record, and I am missing a block here. Alright, well, I'll take care of that. But what I needed the soul sand for was I am getting started on my pumping station, and I wanted to get the effect of... Really, guys? And I wanted to get the effect of having a water boiler right here as we are moving the water around. And if you have an eye for detail, you'll notice the grayish green brick of the tuft gives way to the general gray brick right at the 4th level up, as well as none of the moss grows above the 4th level. And that's to represent the fact that that's all the higher that they would flood this area in order to lift the boat out and sail it out. Now, before I continue on with our pumping station, I do need to get some support under this boat so it's not just floating in midair here. Now that's looking a little more stable. I actually wanted to try and figure out a way to get more of an angle on it, but any angle I put on using the fence post just looked weird, and I didn't really have any other ideas on how to do it. I did think about trying for like a stair angle, but that was just too thick, and sometimes there's no good solution, unfortunately. But now that we're all done out there, let's finish in here. Back to our pumping station, we put in various pipes and copper, and none of this is wax. We're just going to let it oxidize over time, and then maybe we might wax some later. But we got fires and soul sand to get bubble effects and smoke effects. Water is moving across and through the different locations. All of this just to give it a sense of actual purpose in this room. And it comes out here where it is currently not turned on, but when someone flips a switch, the water gates will open and this whole area will start flooding up, floating their ship out. And now we need something that can take our giant log that's keeping the gate sealed to be able to lift that out under pressure And then the gates would burst open and the ship would flow out to the sea. Now that I have my crane in place, hooked up to remove the log when it's necessary, I want to come around and kind of decorate out this side area a little bit more. And to do that, I'm actually going to take all of this down on both sides to about the same height. Probably one up from this wall yet. So I'm going to take it all down to Y level 70, it looks like. And I'm going to do the same over here. Now let's get digging. Now that we have this leveled out, we're just going to finish off this upper area with some support buildings for holding the tools and supplies that are necessary as they are working and building their ships. I have one on this side as well laid out. You'll notice it's not quite as large because we don't have the same amount of space due to our church. But overall, it's going to work out pretty nicely. Before we get to the reveal of where we're at, and we're kind of running out of time, I've been told there's been an incident in the shopping district, so we gotta go check that out real quick. Well, nothing seems blown up, so doesn't look like it's a creeper issue. Everything's fine. Kind of curious what happened to the water in my cauldron, but you know. That's all normal. Okay, someone really wanted fish. Okay, that's... What the heck? Seriously? Who... Wait, there was only 10. There's definitely more than 10 bows in there. Oh, that's been sold out for a while. Seriously, what the heck? Oh. Well, at least I didn't buy Korean's legendary book again. What's one book left? A Loyalty 3 book, huh? The only book they didn't want was Loyalty 3. Or an insane number of saddles. Alright, well. Someone decided to give me 2 1/4 stacks of diamonds. Did they buy anyone else out? Not quite buying everyone out, but certainly making a run on it. Not sure how much they made, but they're completely cleared out too. No, skip it. Let me grab a pair. Well, no crazy sellouts on the iron. But I guess we're going home in style. And let's take the aerial tour of our new shipyard dock. We added a newer heavier duty crane for loading and shipping in the goods, and several workstations along the side for planning and development, and cutting and working out the individual components. And I don't know who first came up with this idea of using rail tires and ladders to make it look like a secured bundle. I've seen it around so many times, I have no idea where the idea originated. It certainly was not mine, but as you can tell, we use it even on our cargo lifting into the ship for the additional supplies as they work on it. Originally, I was going to go with a idea of hoisting in a mast, but it didn't look good. It didn't look great, so we are having them hoist in building supplies. And over here is just going to be a little bit of a library planning section where the master shipwright works and puts out his plan. And I know this is the stone cutter, but I think it also works pretty well as a wood cutter as well. So we have it here so that someone can come up, cut down wood logs into planks. Seriously, we need a carpenter saw. And while we haven't been able to get to the overall landscaping around the shoreline like I wanted to, because as I said, this is running a little bit long, let me know what you think of our design or have any suggestions in the comments down below. And we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody. I need to work on that.